Welcome to Technical Tuesday. Tonight's topic is going to be alternative heat sources for winter. And now let's meet our distinguished panel. How'd you like that, Dave? Oh, he disappeared. Oh, my distinguished panel walked out on me.
There ain't nothing distinguished about me, I admit it. I'm as much in the backwoods as anybody else.
All right, let me switch over here and okay, so we're going to go ahead and say hi to everybody in the side chat before we get going here. First one in was CR, Creative Redundancy, followed by Jay, then Bruce at Backwoods Law, then Dave said he's not really here. Okay, Courtney came in, Digs Outdoors came in, Howie at Food Forest Permaculture, and anybody out there that doesn't have a garden, get a garden. You're worried about what your soil's like, go over and see Howie at Food Forest Permaculture. All right. Did I say Backwoods Law? Backwoods Law is here.
You did.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be up here, but
Yeah, he's taking a break tonight, apparently.
Okay. Oh, does Purple T-Bear want to come up instead?
You ain't ready for that.
Oh, all right. Let's see. Digs Outdoors. And everybody's chit-chatting. Shady Hill Homestead is here. Hugo Homestead is here. And that's the one that's spelled H-Y-G-G-E. That's Danish for fun. Yogi in the Simple Kitchen is here. And Gardener Josh is here. Suburban Hillbilly is here. And make sure I scroll back up real quick. So okay, caught everybody. Good. All right.
I see my negative Nancy hasn't followed me here yet, so
yeah,
you're good so far.
Yeah. Oh, what's so funny when we mentioned on yours about what happened to last night's on Camp Family Compound. When you go to my homepage, you look across 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, 80%. It's like, what? Fortunately, it was 70%, but someone changed theirs from a thumbs down to a thumbs up. They did it by accident.
Yeah. It's their story. They can stick to it.
Yeah. Hey, I've done it myself. It can happen. You get excited. You're clicking around trying to do everything at the beginning. It's like, oh, crap, I hit the wrong one.
Yeah, and also these things are damn small.
Yeah. So,
why do you think I have the 7 Max? I needed a bigger phone.
And Christy Bates is in the house, or Betts is in the house. Sorry. I need a new glass. Let me put on the second pair of glasses here so I can actually. Oh, that doesn't help either.
Well, you got to get the focus length right.
Yeah. Gardener Josh is here. Hey. All right. So tonight's topic: alternative heat sources for winter. I'm going to try putting this down underneath, guys, and let me know how you like this. Actually, I'm going to do it both ways. Do you like us better over here, or do you like us better down here at the bottom? So everyone on the side chat, vote. Number 2 is on the bottom. Number 1's on the side.
Don't go with the whole number 2 thing.
The reason why I like it on the side because we don't take out anything of the picture being, when it's down below.
Yeah, but see, when you go down to the bottom, my face gets smaller and it doesn't scare as many people.
3. Hi, Kaylin. I wish they would do 3 where I could have the us a little bit smaller just on the side, makes us about 3/4 the size we are on the side, or makes us the same size we are down here, just up on the side.
I have a better idea for them.
What
they need to do is, so if somebody is presenting something like you and I have done in the past, and you're going to be doing in the future here soon, what they need to do is take, and for the one that gives it, we're at the bottom, it puts the presenter down on the bottom along with their presentation, and everybody else is behind it, so they're not in the way of the presentation.
Right. All right. So let's move on with this. So for the winter, what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about when the oops happens, not the SHTF happens. Just
like
the
oops, my furnace went out.
No, yeah, my furnace went out. Oops, the construction company down 2-3 blocks away dug into the natural gas line and ripped out the main.
No sleeping, Al.
Ah, damn it.
Quit doing your
Jim Belushi
no
impersonation.
Stevie Wonder impersonation. All right. Hey, Mary Beth. All right. So what I'm talking about is things just go wrong. The power pole gets yanked down. A car hits it. A lightning strike on a pole and on the substation. It's going to be out for a couple weeks until they replace get new transformers in it. Whatever it is, it's not a permanent thing. It's just an oops. It's not SHTF. It's not the end of the world as we know it. It's just a oops.
Hey,
and here's Texas Rob. Okay, so let's see what we got going on here. See, there's some things. Well, first thing everybody says, well, a lot of people say, I got a fireplace. I can heat my house. Good. Do you have firewood?
What's that?
Or do you have what the next step up from the fireplace was, and that's where they had the metal tubes going in and around. So as it heated up, they would pull the cold air in the bottom and shoot the warm air out the top. Or the next step was, hey, like my dad did, he built one heavy duty Schedule 80 hydraulic pipe, 3-inch pipe, made the thing and froze, put a pipe across the front, welded it all together, and put a blower on it. So instead of just working on the heat air rising and getting it to work, put a blower on it and just went and blew the hot air. Oh man!
Or you could do like my house that burned down, have a Russian fireplace, that big convection stone thing.
Yeah. Well, this is things you can do with your fireplace. And then, of course, you can take it to the next step and put a wood-burning stove insert into the fireplace that works a little bit better. But, but some people says, well, I got a wood stove. I got a real cool one here and everything else. And that's like question comes back. Do you have firewood already?
Yeah. Seasoned.
Again,
seasoned
what's that?
And dry. It could be seasoned and gotten rained on. You got to keep it covered, especially if you were up in Northern California this last week with 16 inches of rain.
Or you see all those wood floating away at that wood pallet place.
Yeah.
They had the wood in.
Yeah, all the wood was floating away from the house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, besides the regular wood ones, they got the pellet stoves. That looks like the feed for instead of being kind of greenish for like alfalfa for the rabbits, it's all wood. You just kind of scoop it up, put it in there. And of course, I've never seen one of those put out a flame like that. Never.
Oh, Backwoods is already going through the roof here. Prices on everything have jumped up about 12%. I expect it to jump up even higher sooner.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's see what we got here. All right. All right. So let's move away from your fireplace and something you already have in place, things you don't have in place or you have out in the shop or whatever, or garage. Well, the one on the left here, that's for those in California or the southern states when they get off, Dave. All right. We'll put that up there in a second, Dave. We're not yet to the liquid. We're on propane.
All right.
They say, all right, we got a 1-burner one. We can heat the house up with this. It's not very cold out. We just want to take the chill off. Yes and no.
That's all I'm doing.
Number 2. Oh, it's a little bit colder here. We're getting up into Ohio, Pennsylvania, Kansas, and some of the.
Are you smoking some of that wacky tobacco there, Gil? Because that 2-burner one ain't warm enough to heat up anybody in Tennessee, let alone Ohio or Pennsylvania or Michigan.
Well, the third one's for those up there in North Dakota and Alaska.
The 1 or the 2 for the dairy barn, but you guys got. Well, I'll let Gil explain it.
All right. So the problem with these are A, they can get knocked over, but B, the orange thing you see in there is not a ceramic catalyst unit. It's just wire, and it gets hot and it helps it to burn a little bit cleaner, but it does not a lot cleaner. You still get a little carbon monoxide off of this, and you get your carbon dioxide, and you get some unburnt stuff. And so you need to. Jay, I caught that. We're not going back to the pellet stove. But you don't want to run these in your house because they do burn up the oxygen and they put off, byproduct gases.
Right. That's why they're used in dairy barns, construction sites. Because what are they?
Yeah, well, you got fresh air coming in all the time and stuff. So if you got a really old leaky house and you got air drafts coming in, all right, yeah, you got air coming in, so you could probably get away with one of these. All right.
Yeah, so I could actually run that 3-burner in this house right now.
Yeah.
With no worries.
Yeah. So the next one over here, now this is one that has a ceramic thing in it, with it burning out and everything. So it burns a little bit cleaner. And these are the little miniature versions. The one on the right is called a tent warmer, and the one on the left there is called a golf cart
heater. Hold on. I've got an older tent. Just hold that thought. Don't go anywhere yet.
This is not monetized, so I can do it. Yeah. Yep. One of those. Yep. Got one of those. We're similar to that. All right. So yeah.
That's older than both of you. So
yeah. So these, what's funny is I've also seen the one on the left advertised as a under the desk heater.
Oh no.
Yeah. Problem is, what do people do with the legs under the desk all the time?
Kick their feet.
They're moving their feet around and doing stuff. And yeah. Hey, Bland's Promised Land Ranch is in the house. Woo!
Hey guys. He froze.
I froze. Yeah. Hey, I know. Wait. Let me get that heat. Let me get that heater going here. Okay. Right. And Kaylin said she would not use these inside her apartment. No, these you would not use inside your apartment because they're not total. They don't take care of the carbon monoxide very well. So you still get a bunch of carbon monoxide off of it and some other gases. Let's go over here and take the next one. Now, I'm not sure if that's froze or not. There we go. This is a three section one, and you can see the 3 ceramic catalyst plates in there. This is a portable one. You can wheel around your house. You can hook it up with the little green bottles, or you can have one of those bigger ones with the hose with the filter on it and hook it up and run it.
I have an admission to make.
All right.
I feel really stupid right now.
Why?
My entertainment center has a built-in electric heater in it. And I didn't remember that until I seen this. Well, I didn't buy it for the heater. It was nice to have it in there as a emergency backup. And here, I have no heat and totally forgot I had it.
Red's in the house. So, Red, you just bought this one here? The 3 panel one? All right. So, yeah, this is one of the ones that you can wheel around. And it's got 3 panels on it. And this is, this would be one you can use in the house. It has an oxygen sensor, CO, carbon monoxide sensor. So if the oxygen level gets too low, it shuts off. If the carbon monoxide level gets too high, it shuts off. So, all right, cool. Good for you, Red. All righty. And this is the little bit smaller. This is the big buddy. And it's got 2 panels, whereas this is the single buddy with 1 panel. And I did a review on that, almost 2 years ago. All righty, let's see. And the next one here we got. Now, guys, this is important. There are some of these type ones here that are the blue flame that are made for indoors that come complete with all the sensors and everything on it. And it doesn't need a vent. All it needs is a gas line coming in from outside. They make them for both natural gas and propane. I know Reed at Manifestation of Imagination heats his house with the propane version of this because it doesn't require any electricity at all. It has its own built-in sensor stuff. I mean, I think maybe some batteries for the sensors or something, I don't know, for working it. But there are some people that use these when they have a house that is sort of like a Winchester mystery house. Someone's added onto it, then the next owner added onto it, and the next owner added onto it. And some areas don't have cold rooms. And they'll put one of these back in that cold room, and they'll only turn it on when it's really cold. And outside, they'll have like a 40 or a 100-pound bottle sitting there, and they use it until the bottle's empty, and they go get the bottle refilled. Sometimes it might last them, if they're using it just very sparingly, it might last them a year. But this is something you could have in your house as your emergency backup heater if the furnace goes out, because you'd be able to heat the house. It has the oxygen sensor on it and stuff, and it's one of those things that can keep you going. All right, this is a bigger unit. Some of these have a fan in them, some of them do not. But I don't know if you can see it, but at the top here, above where my cursor's moving, there's a stovepipe coming up out of it. So it connects up, or it can go straight out the wall and have an outside vent on it that way there. This puts out about 3 times as much heat, but it's a vented one, whereas the one before it was not vented. My grandmother had one of these, and heated her whole house with it. All right. Now, some people they'll get a large tank, and they'll get it with what's called a wet leg, WETLEG, where they pulls off the bottom of it down there. Some people get their own little pump and meter on it here, so they can see how much pump. And those that have something like that, hey, you can actually make money selling propane to your neighbors.
Here's another one that I've got.
And let me make you big. There you big.
We've got one of these as well, but we haven't got it hooked up or set up yet because it requires ventilation and a drain for it. But we also have one of these.
Still in the box?
What's that?
Is it still in the box?
Yes, it's still in the box. Don't have everything set up for it yet.
Yeah.
But if the furnace, which is manufactured 1985, cannot be repaired, a cheap route to at least get heat in for now will be getting that installed.
Yeah. Now, with the wet leg, this is the one with a pump. What we had at a lot of the scout camps in California was this type of wet leg, where the no pump, just a hose. You set the propane bottle down next to it, hook it up, and you wait for it to fill up. It takes a little bit longer, and it doesn't quite fill up. Because it takes longer, it doesn't get as much in there, because when it's pumping, it pumps it in real fast, and you shut off the upper valve and everything. So, but this one, you'll still get, on a 5-gallon bottle, you'll still get at least 4 gallons in there. All right. And some people are going to say, propane, hey, I got a bunch of cook stoves. I can heat my house with cook stoves. No response from Al. Al, you were supposed to jump on this one.
No, you don't heat your house with propane stoves, the heater. What the hell? Oh, that's
a big propane stove.
I was trying to figure out.
But you notice he's not running it all the time, are you, Dave?
No, only enough to take the moisture out of the air.
Yeah. And
that's all I need.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, your normal natural gas stove, or if you have a propane tank, you have a propane kitchen stove, a regular one. You don't run those all the time, and they're perfectly safe to use indoors because you're not running them all the time. You cook a meal on it. 15, 20, 30 minutes to cook a meal. Turkey, 2 hours, all right. But you're not running it for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours at a time.
They're not designed like that, folks.
Yeah.
And plus, they also put carbon dioxide in the air. It's not generally. It's used for camping.
Yeah, it's used for the outdoor areas. And the thing I like to point out with some of these models, like the Primus here, the ones we had, some of our Troop had, you put a big aluminum pot over it where it covers up a lot of area. You got to pull that pot off, and what does the bottom look like?
Black or the ace of spades.
Black sooty.
Right.
Because these aren't real. The controls on these for adjusting the oxygen mix is like you got a tube, you got a hole in the tube, and you got a sleeve that rolls around it, and you got trying to adjust it just right and then match it to the how much pressure you got coming out. Yeah, it's not set right to do good.
Okay, wait a second. I saw something in the chat. We tried the experiment with the Crisco and the flower pot. It did not work. Mathematically, it won't heat a room.
Yeah. Oh, I got a big problem with people. Oh, yeah. Take a ceramic pot, turn it upside down, put a tea light under it. It'll heat your room. No. Because the tea light only puts out so many BTUs, period. Putting it under there does not amplify the BTUs.
The only thing it does is actually heat that up and make what little heat it does put off last longer.
Yeah.
So if you're in a tent, don't do it in a tent anyway. But if you're in a tent, it'll stay warmer longer.
Yeah.
Just the problem is it puts off enough bad gases to make you forever sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd be better off heating up a rock and putting it in a tent with you.
Right.
Exactly.
And we got Ryder Dust in the house. Hey, and Will, AIT Preparedness. Hey. All right, so let's move on to the next one here. All right, now we're getting away from propane. We're getting into an area which some people like, some people don't. This is an outdoor furnace. It's set up to burn waste oil. You know, the oil from the oil changers and stuff like that, and garage mechanics and stuff. It uses waste oil to heat your house. And you can generally, in some areas, you can get waste oil really cheap, or they will pay you to take it away. So this is one that goes outside. They do have some that are inside, and the tank is plumbed down to it. There's another one here for the inside, which is usually used in shops and stuff. It does, on the far right up here, it does have the 4-inch vent going outside. You can get this on numerous websites, but I've always seen it on Northern Tools. But yeah, you got the waste oil drum here, and it burns waste oil, and it heats up your shop, your garage, your milk barns, whatever.
Yeah.
And you're using...
Right. And folks, understand this. Do not mix fuel oil and waste oil together unless you want to see that little heater thing go boom.
It won't go boom. What it'll do, it'll glow red and just melt down because the heat will be... Yeah, it'll heat up it'll get so hot, it'll heat up that drum. But, you know, if you add diesel fuel to the waste oil, it'll burn a lot hotter and it'll destroy the mechanism.
Yeah.
All right. The Kraken is in the house. Carrot Top is in the house. And who else? Let me scroll back up real quick. Who else? Anybody else sneak in here at the last here on me?
Will did.
I saw Will. I already said hi to Will. All right, so the next one here. Now we're getting into the good oil here, the kerosene, the #1 diesel. And these are okay. However, you can't just light it and forget it.
Sure you can, as long as you don't want to get up.
Right.
Well, the thing is, though, after you've used it a number of times, you got to keep an eye on it because it has a wick. And the wick after time will... You know, it's a fiberglass wick thing, but it'll melt down just a little bit, and you got to take the chamber off, adjust it, pull it up, adjust it in its thing, so that
snip off all the frayed little edges.
Get it all, clean it up, and then you put it back together, and it'll go for another 2 months or so before you got to do the same thing again.
Right. You don't want to be a Christy Graves, the lady who played Get Christy Love. I was Teresa Graves. She died from one of these things that wasn't maintained, and she suffocated. The fire department rescued her. She was still alive, but she died from smoke inhalation because this thing was on fire.
Yeah, and the thing is, my cousins used one of these for years and years and years. Don would take it apart every year, twice a year, and tune it up and get it all done. And he made sure of it. And he had a carbon monoxide detector and a carbon dioxide. I don't know where he got the carbon dioxide detector. One of its connections with the Navy, and he had that in there. Okay, so I saw a Klingon princess come in. I know Dave said hi to her. Idaho Garden Girl, and who that was it? Yeah, Idaho Garden Girl was the other one that slid in here. So these are great, especially out in garages, shops, stuff like that, where you have an airflow not a open wind blowing through airflow, but you got air exchange and stuff, so you don't have to worry about it. All right, the next one here. All right, now we're getting into a little scientific magic here. Yeah. So what this is,
Twilight Zone.
What this is a the panel box will. This one may or may not have tubes in it, or just maybe connected. Basically, what it does, it just heats up the air inside this box mounted on the side. There is two tubes going into the house. One is where the hot air comes in to the house, and one is where the house air goes back in to get warmed back up and then return to the house. So basically, it just kind of runs it around. Some of these have a little plug-in 120 volt little 1 watt fan just to circulate it. But there are some other ones here. This is the same type setup, only it has the insulated flex hoses that you put up. You have this little block thing that goes in the window with the hoses in it, and the fan is powered by the solar panel on it. So this keeps on working when the power goes out. And
only in the daytime.
Yeah, some of these, well, you don't want to use that other one in nighttime because it's going to bring cold air in.
Yeah.
Some of these even have a dual thermostat system. There'll like to be a thermostat on this unit out here to see what the outside air is, and then the remote one goes inside. And so long as they're in, I forget what this what the advertisement went on. Well, there's a difference in the temperatures. It'll keep it going, but if something gets out in the whack on the temperature rate, it just stops it. Like if the unit outside gets so cold, it's gonna and it's not heating up, it's not gonna bring the air in. All right.
Hey, Vidra.
Okay, on the painted Ryder brings up a good point. You can put painted bricks on the outside of the wall facing to the sun. It has to be facing to the sun in a moderate climate. It does not work in Gil's area.
Actually, the best way to help prevent cold spots in winter areas is take and put 2 hay bales tall and 1 deep at the bottom around your building. And that will keep your cold air from circulating through your crawl space.
Yeah.
That will help keep your house a lot warmer than not having said stuff. And that works for trailers, homes. Having lived in Michigan and parts of Michigan and been up in Vermont where the average temperature some winter days is 20 below zero with a wind chill, those make a huge difference.
Yeah, I'm going to do a video this week with my daughter. We're going to do the same thing we did last year for the chicken coop. We take several bales, we break the bales open, put them all over the roof. Then we have a special tarp that's on boards, and we put it up there, we unroll it over it, and then we weight it down so the wind can't blow it away. And so it's got about 6 inches of loose straw on top, and then we stack up straw bales around it. So I'll get that video out here hopefully this week. All right, now let's go on to the next one here. All right, this is one of the roof mount jobs. These tubes are hollow. There's no water in these. There are some that have water in them where they run a water system around, but usually the people use those for heating their pool in California and maybe preheating. They'll have 2 water heaters inside. The water goes through, and the water going to the water heater goes through there and gets warmed up first before it goes to the water heater. But
most people use it for pool warming.
Yeah, as I said, pool. This is just a air one, and how this works is get the drawing up here. It heats the panel up. You have like a vent from a bathroom with everything, blowing air up into it. It circulates it down and blows the warm air out at the bottom, so it circulates to the room and it heats up the area here. Now here they have it showing you how to heat up an addition, but you can actually do it on a regular house too, and they'll do all the plumbing work for you. Make sure they're insured.
Right.
All right. Switching gears back to wood. This is an outdoor boiler. And you can stock, big door opens up. You can toss pallets in there. You toss logs in there. You get your big fire going in there. You close it up. You set all the damper controls on it. And it basically what it has water jacket inside. And so it heats up the water. You have plumbing that goes down into your house. And then this unit sitting here in front of it here is the unit that goes into your central air conditioning ducting right at the transfer cone thing inside. So basically, instead of cooling the air down coming through your ducts, it heats it up.
And puppies don't make good heating pads.
Yeah, and they also make these make the water heaters that have that are made for solar heating stuff. Only instead of have it solar heating, you can have it heated by this, so you heat your water heater up really good by this. So these are another option. There's several companies that do it. This is Heat Source One. There's I just lost the name of it. Most of their stuff is painted green. Central Boiler, and then there's a couple other ones that do it too. So check around if you're thinking about doing something like this. Then there is the passive heating and cooling, folks. This system works both ways because 10 feet down in the ground, you generally have about a 65 to 68 degree temperature. And so all this does is that this one here, you run piping down or tubing, and the tubing heats it, the air exchange, heat exchange, and everything heats it up to 68 degrees, bringing the house. That way your house just stays at 65 to 68 degrees all the time. In the summertime, when it's 120 outside, your house is still 65, 68 degrees because of the cooling on it. Now, there are several ways they do that. One, they do it with water pipes that dig out and lay a whole bunch of pipe down and fill it. So you're picking up the matching the ground temperature down. And this is usually down at least 6 feet to 8 feet or deeper, depending on where you live at. And this is the water circulation. They have what's called a heat pump inside, and it does an exchange of the air inside temperature to the liquid in here. The other one they have, which is even simpler, it's called the two-well system. It pulls water out of one well, and it pushes water down, and it runs through, pulls the heat off of it or the cool off of it, and froze, and then it puts the temperature change difference back into the other well, and it travels through the aquifer, and it comes back up again. So there's that type. Now you can, with some of these that take electricity, you're worrying about the power outage, you can get you don't have to get a huge system like this, but you can get enough solar panels to run any of these systems we've talked about so far, just to keep, because a lot of them don't take a lot of power to run. Now, if you have panels like this and more panels on the garage, then you can use electric space heaters, but you still need to monitor your power system to make sure you don't drag all your cabinets down dead and kill them. All right, now the next one here, do not use these. Once again, do not use these.
Come on now.
All right, Al, you can start swinging and cursing.
Yeah, these are hibachis. Do not use them. They're #1 killers in Japan if you use it inside the house.
And #4 in Southern California, Northern California, for charcoal being used in the house when it shouldn't be used in the house. Charcoal gives off a lot of carbon monoxide. Yeah, it gives off I don't know how many times more than somebody can Google it. How much carbon monoxide does charcoal give off more than propane?
Okay, it's difference 5%. It gives out 95% carbon monoxide.
Yeah.
If you want to make it worse, add vinegar to it. Then you increase it to 100%.
Yeah. So this is one of the ones you do not use to heat your house. You want to cook with this? Go out on the patio or cover. Put up a pop-up that if it's raining to keep the rain off of it. Don't cook in the house with this.
Right.
Don't heat the house with this. Okay, the American version of the hibachi. Don't use this in the house.
Also, it's a fire hazard, folks. It's a Weber kettlebell. Do not use that one in the house.
Yeah, any type of charcoal barbecue, do not use it in the house. All right. And then there's this one here. I can't remember which country this is for. They have a ceramic, they cast a ceramic pot and they put it in another stone and they cook on this. They get their little fire going in there. You see, it's not charcoal, but it's still, it's wood chunks and stuff. So
it's carbonized wood chunks.
Yeah.
It's from Barbados. It's a fire pot. It's ceramic and it holds. It's like a hibachi, but different. It's not made out of metal.
Yeah. But, like if you were using this outside and you dump the coals out and you got the right type of gloves on, you could carry that in. It would radiate heat for quite a while in the house, but you don't want to be burning wood in the house.
No, there's no event or anything.
Yeah.
They use that in Barbados for the boats. After the fire goes out, they have an iron pot they put into that and keeps their hot tea or hot water hot while they're fishing 5-10 hours. And when they come back in, it's still hot. You have hot water.
All right, next one here. Oh, we're taking that last one and going high tech with it.
Yeah, it's a rocket stove, folks.
No, it's not even a rocket stove. It's it's sort of, but it has the vent on it, but
it still uses wood.
It still uses wood or charcoal. Don't use it in the house. This is outside cooking. And this next one here, I think, is the one that's Oh, this idiot here was using it inside to cook their steaks or their meat inside. You can tell they're
not a good idea.
Not a good idea. Well, you do not want to try something dangerous. So with these things, you don't, these are the do not use inside. Now, what you can do with this, let me get back over here. This one, you can do it with this one or this one. You can take a big metal pot with water, put it on there, get that water boiling, bring that in and set it on your stove and just let it radiate heat. All right. It's not as efficient, but if you're without heat, you don't want to die, it's one way to keep add some
froze.
Yeah, you got to meet the house. The other thing you can do if you have the right type of rocks, repeat, the right type of rocks that are dry, and you can do it. You can heat the rocks up, bring the rocks in little metal buckets and put them in different places, and they'll give off some heat. So these you don't do, this you don't do, this you don't use in the house, this you don't use in the house, and this you don't use in the house. So the question is, are you ready for losing your furnace, if you have an electric furnace, if you have a gas furnace, whatever you have for your heat source, are you ready to have something to back it up, keep you warm and safe? And that is my slideshow. And so guys on the side chat, wait, hang on, what I got here, I got to do something. Okay, I'll get to that in a second. There is, anybody in the side chat have ideas and stuff? Anything I missed, fire it at me right now.
And P2E came in. Darn it.
All right, let's go back over here and catch up on this. Yes. Okay, now there are some of those big propane and even kerosene heaters that they use on construction sites. They're not good for in the house. They're good for out in the pig barn. They're good for using cattle barn, the shop, and other ones. You can't. The top hat one. The top hat. Yeah, that was one we used to use in our shop. We'd heat it up outside till it was burning a little bit cleaner. Then we'd bring it in the shop. And Bruce says, put a hot ash bucket in his garage and burnt down his 500,000 hat 2 years house 2 years. Yeah.
No, you don't want to do that.
You got to be careful of anything you're doing here. Do not, as I say, don't do anything foolish.
Right. Best thing if you want to heat the house, get fire bricks that are bricks, put it in a bucket. Once you take it out of the fire, dust off the ash and everything. That I have a thermometer gun that reads 200 degrees once you take out the
Yeah.
fire. It's hot, but
All
put
right.
it in a metal bucket on top of cool fire bricks, and you can feel the nice warmth from it.
Yeah. Okay. Depending on the voltage on your natural gas fireplace, yeah, there is. If it's just the power's out, there is a way to do it. We talked about this on last Tuesday. When we talked about the power sources, generators versus solar generators. Or was that on Friday? Anyway,
Friday.
solar generators were saying, okay, you have your generator power stuff, but then you have the battery banks, the power stations that you can plug certain things into. A natural gas fireplace doesn't have a big electrical draw, and you could probably use one of those little battery power stations to power that, so you could use your natural gas fireplace. You might even be able to use the blower on it too, because most of the blowers, I mean, for my wood burning stove in here, when it's on high, it draws 5 watts.
Right.
So,
Well, yeah, when you put hot rocks in a sleeping bag, it will catch on fire.
Or
okay.
melts it.
Yeah, the hot rocks, when you put them in a thing, they can't be too hot. And if you're going to be tossing hot rocks in your sleeping bag, wrap them with foil to dissipate the heat a little bit.
Better yet, bury the hot rocks underneath the sleeping bag.
Exactly.
In dirt.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you're going to be, if you're out camping in a sleeping bag, yeah, is if you are without your heater, hey, that's where you start bundling up thermals, a second pair of pants, sweatpants, sleeping bags on top of the bed, sleeping bags in the bed. There's a lot of ways to keep you going.
Right. I used to show you guys the Zippo pocket heater. Those work great. You light it up, put it in your bag, and that's fine.
Oh, okay. How many of you remember the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, Curse of the Black Pearl, when
Froze?
Yeah, when they came to and raided the governor's mansion, and she went to hit them with a bed pan, with a bed warming pan, and he grabbed it, and then she pulled the thing and it opened up and dumped the hot coals on him.
Yeah.
Those did not stay in the bed all night. They put those in and moved it around like a hot iron and warmed up the bed and then took it out.
Right. If you leave it under there, then the governor's mansion's on fire.
Yeah. And P2 re-verified. Yeah, most gas solenoids are very low current drawing.
And they did have ceramic hot water bottles, but also they wrapped it in towels too.
Oh, hot water bottles. Yes. Hot water bottles. So you can, if you have one of those ones I said don't use indoors, and you're heating a big pot of hot water out there, fill up the hot water bottles and toss them in your bed. Get several hot water bottles. How many people here in the live stream have one hot water bottle? Put a thumbs up. How many have? All right, Al has 3. I was going to say, how many have more than one? How many have more than 5? How many have more than 10? Nope.
How many don't care about hot water bottles?
Hey, Dave, right now you can have one. If you're getting cold in you, you have a hot water bottle at your feet. Oh,
nope. I got blankets and I got sleeping bags, blankets, whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Kraken has 4. Kaylin has 1. CB has 1. Idaho Garden Girl has 1. Hey, before the prices go skyrocket on those 2, grab a couple extra.
Right. Diggs just put out, he got the electric hand warmer from Zippo. Those are rechargeable, and with the Android recharger unit, they last about 8 hours.
Yeah. So, all right, Eric, we get it. Or is it Monica? No need for hot water bottles in Texas. Wrong. Remember what happened this last
January?
It's happening again. The conditions are already setting up for it. All right, Yoshi has 6. Woohoo!
Remember, folks, it's Texas Snow Apocalypse Part 2.
Yeah.
Monica
It's Eric. Hey,
and
Eric.
Eric's version.
Yeah. So,
Sure,
there's going to be some things in here. No, we're not. That may be one of the problems, and that's why I also pointed out that you may need to have solar panels, a generator, or something. Even have one of those battery banks that you can charge up that'll power certain things for a couple days. Like, whose was it? I just forget now. They said they want to know if it would, if there's a way to get the natural gas fireplace to burn. You can use it to power certain things. You're not going to power a lot of things, but you can get, even if the power is out, if you have your backup power, like we discussed on the generator versus solar generator, backup power for the winter, you can keep some of your other stuff going to keep it going. Now, if it's not if the power is out and the natural gas is still working, then you need some sort of power. And that's one, all right, he says Jackery is one, the Blue Eddy is another. I have the Kodiak, which is actually, all right.
The energy system.
Yeah, the Renogy. There are several of them out there. You have to. I'm going to digress here for a second. I'm going to bring up the other spreadsheet real quick here, guys.
Hang on you.
I'm going to do it.
Digression is not good for the soul.
Nope.
No, this type of digression is good for the bodies. So let me pull it down here. And where is it? Come on. What happened to it? Did it disappear? Shoot. Oh, I must have copied it. I must have cut it when I copied and pasted it. Crap. Oh, well, I'll have to pull it up a different time. Go to Minuteman Prep. He has a spreadsheet and where he that's what he does for fun. He
froze again.
He freezes?
No, he goes and he buys all these different
all right, Bland. Have a good night.
And tests them.
Night, Eric.
Yes. That's the next one I want to get is the Titan.
I would like one. Anybody got $3,000 to loan me?
Oh, $3,000, you get one with 2 batteries.
Yeah.
It'll last you quite a while.
I got a freezer to try and keep cool and got to keep the kid warm.
So but basically it lists all the different ones, the Blue Eddy, the Titan, the other one by Energy, INGER.
Sorry, guys,
all
I gotta
the ones,
go.
Blue Eddies, all the ones right on down, including the
4 Patriots crap. See, it scared him so bad he froze. Uh-oh. Or did I freeze?
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right, I'm going to unplug myself for a second and plug myself back in.
I thought it was me for a second there. Oops. But, now you're all stuck looking at me. Okay.
All right, now I'm back. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to slam this one again. The 4 Patriots has a 690 watt-hour battery, which with an 1800 watt inverter. You run that inverter at full power, you have 20 minutes of power. That's it. And it costs $2,500.
I will admit something. Back when 2 years ago, when I was actually trying to work with 4 Patriots, hence, the 4 Patriots food, the solar kettle, the battery banks, the flashlights.
Yeah.
I was actually trying to work myself toward getting one of those. And then they threw out a bunch of, oh, you need to do this. No, I don't do unicorn poo, rainbow fluff stuff that you want. I'm not going to make it all cartoonish. And this is real deal. And, it's the way it is. Somebody's not going to buy a battery bank and, oh, isn't this so cute? No, they're going to test it. And, oh, well, it takes 4 days worth of sunlight to charge it up enough to charge your phone up once. That's the realistic. It's not going to charge your phone up 3 times overnight and be fully charged the next day unless you plug it into a wall. That's the real deal.
And it also has a problem is you can't, right. Some of them, most of them will say on them what their maximum wattage input is for charging it.
Okay. Here's perfect example. Okay. As you can see, this is a 4 Patriots little battery bank. Capacity. I need my extra eyeball here.
Hey, look what Kraken said. I'm putting it up on the screen.
Hold on. What?
He's talking about the one you got.
Yeah. Okay. This is a 10,000 milliamp hour battery inside here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can't see it very well in the camera, but maybe if I get closer. No, you can't. But guess what? It's swelled up. So this is garbage.
Yeah.
I will not trust that. Now, I suppose I could contact them and say, look, hey, this is swelled up. And they'd probably send me a new one. Then I'd have to worry about the same thing over again.
Yeah. About the only thing from Fort Patriots I might be interested in getting is that kettle. If it weren't 3 times as expensive as it should be.
You mean this?
Is that the one you put the fire in? No, that's not the one.
You're talking to Kelly kettle.
Their version of the Kelly kettle.
No, they don't have a version of a Kelly kettle. This is their solar kettle.
Right.
You put stuff in here. Sunlight warms up this tube. They're okay. I'm not going to take and trust cooking food with it.
Yeah. At one time, years ago, they had something that looked like Kelly kettle. They maybe had one and got rid of it.
That wasn't for Patriots. That was Patriot Pantry.
Yeah. I thought
it's the same dang company.
Yeah, exactly.
Go do a paperwork search. Go follow the money trail.
Yeah. So anyways, for heating and stuff, depending why your power went for a day, a couple days, a week, whatever it is.
No, Bruce, it never got hot. Never. It just, it's warm. 2 years old, and I keep it in the sun to keep it charged, and it just, I don't know, it just doesn't.
Oh, that one, the battery bank, they got hot. Okay. Yeah, I got a battery bank, one of those ones from someone else off the web. It was a scam. They had just, instead of having full of batteries like it was supposed to inside to charge up, it had 2. So it say fully charged, you go to plug something into it. So yeah. There's for heating your house, your area. I don't know what everyone's area is. You need to, I don't know what your temperature is. I mean, if my house in California, I know what we can do down there. If we have to heat and stuff, my boys know what to do. My wife knows what to do to heat it up. If we get a freeze down there and the power goes out, they know how to take care of it. The furnace, I never did get around to it. I should have wired it up. So I had a 110 kickoff leg where I could plug the generator in to run the blower and the solenoid for the furnace part.
We may need
is for the compressor.
We may need to actually insulate your internet connection with some heat so you don't freeze so often.
Well, I still freeze in the middle of summer.
That's because it's going through the air. There's too much wind circulation. It's not insulated.
Yeah. Well, what it is it's the air between me and the transmission tower, a mile away. It'll cook. Oh, that's it, Dave. Your little thing there. Get a big Fresnel lens up over in front of it, so it focuses. In a wide, not a.
Okay,
tiny,
well, here, let me educate some people on a Fresnel, whatever you want to call it, lens, Fresnel, whatever, Fresnel. Yeah. It will use the ambient heat of its source to cook something. Seeing as how we're talking the sun is how hot? It's stupid hot.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't touch it. Take a Fresnel lens, however you want to say it. Pinpoint accurate little teeny dot on the ground. You ain't sticking your hand under it. It's not magnifying anything. It's actually just pinpointing the actual heat. There is scientific papers that explain it a whole lot better than I can. As a matter of fact, if you go to the King of Random's channel, TKOR, back when Grant was still around and he actually built the first one that they used, he actually went and showed the scientific proof behind it. But it actually, it doesn't magnify it. It just focuses the actual source.
Yeah.
Even though the sun's so far away, it actually takes the ambient heat from the sun and pinpoints it down into low. That's why it can actually melt holes through cast iron frying pans. Yeah. It can melt a gold bar. It will melt your skin.
Same principle with a regular magnifying lens, a Coke
just
bottle,
Fresnel lenses do it much better.
Yeah. All right. So look at your options now before you need it. There's a lot of things to consider in getting. Just getting rid of that. Something popped up here. Okay. There's a lot of things to consider in getting what you actually need rather than what you want. I want to have this 300,000 amp, portable thing. No, that's not what you need. So it's a real, I don't want to put it. It's an individualized thing you need to figure out for your house. If you got a wood burning stove, cool, you're set. Do you have plenty of wood? Do you have a fireplace? You do? Do you have plenty of wood? You don't have plenty of wood? Shame on you.
And see, that's where I'm at right now. I've actually got one of those little old-fashioned army tent stoves. Little round, what looks like
bring your stove up there. I'm gonna put you on big so you can show that little heat.
I don't have it down here where I can access it.
No, the other one, the green one.
Well, let me finish the other part first, because it's the little army tent stove. It's a wood burning stove, but I don't have any firewood here for it. I don't have no place to put the firewood for it. So right now, even though I have the stove, it's useless unless I want to start running down by the creek down here and start gathering kindling and then medium size and then some thicker logs to actually use in it. So if you're going to have something, make sure you got something. That's on me. That's prepping 101. You make sure you have what you need. This year, I had to move and everything else. I don't have access to what I used to have access to, and I didn't prepare. So right now, that little wood burning stove is useless.
Yeah. So this is what he has here, which I'm going to make him big. And he's
this thing?
Yeah.
3,000 to 5,000 BTU.
Yeah, Coleman.
This will heat a room faster than you can say, holy cow, is it a sauna?
And once you heat the room, you turn it off.
Yep.
What's Christy saying here? Got 13 inches of snow in Alabama. People started burning furniture.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And, even if you're in an area where you don't, have to heat with wood. I mean, outside here, we got a 48. I'm going to have, I got the thing for I have put it in, a 40-inch piece of corrugated pipe, 2 feet tall, that I'm going to put in out here where,
while he's frozen.
Well, Brandon had he had one a little bit shorter, had for an outdoor fire pit. Outdoor fire pits are great, but you got to have wood for them. And wood doesn't go bad if you keep it dry. And I know someone's going to say, what about termites? Well, you spray around the wood pile and you keep it up off the ground so the termites don't get to it.
If the termites are in the wood when it goes in the stove, that's on them. That's not on me. They shouldn't have been there. And Idaho Garden Girl, short term, well, with as many air leaks as this house has, short term, yes, it's okay. Would I want to try and burn that little Coleman every single day for the rest of the year? Cost wise, heck no. And two, health wise, no. It is a short term solution, not a long term. It's a band aid to fix a boo boo. Getting the furnace fixed is first and foremost. Now, again, it was manufactured in 1985. It's a ream. Highly doubt he's going to be able to get parts for it. So we are already searching for other alternatives in case that, he's told he's going to have to get a new furnace at $20-some thousand for a furnace.
Who is it? Okay, P2E. On this comment here, I believe that is...
Yeah, they do. I just actually looked them up for my landlord.
This one.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
But if you get it with the camo on it, it costs $50 more.
Yeah, the camo.
Yep.
If I want camo, I got spray cans. I'll spray paint it.
Okay, and back here. Okay, so what's coming up here? Actually, can I do that? Can I do that?
No.
Shoot. No, I didn't bring it over here onto this one. Dang it. Stupid.
What's that? The video I made?
Yes.
I
tweaked it a little bit, expanded, but it showed the video you made.
Let me see if I still got it. I do. All right, hold on. Let me get to the right screen. Share video. You ready?
Yep.
All you gotta do is add it.
Add to screen. This is actually for Friday.
No problem, Dick. Now, before anybody asks why is there so much about Stop the Bleed, they are one of the leading proponents for Stop the Bleed in the U.S. Plus, if it's a grid down situation, that's the first thing you've got to do is stop the bleed. So, yeah, it's still, they're talking about that's one of the key focuses in survival medicine is stopping the bleed. Mm-hmm. Once you stop the bleed, then you can finish triaging it.
And I'm going to add something here on there. So everybody's heard of the rule of threes. 3 minutes without air, the average person dies. 3 days without water, the average person dies. 3 weeks without food, the average person dies. 3 minutes without medical attention when you have a heavy bleed, the person could die. And that's why Stop the Bleed is being pushed so hard right now. So, and so that's going to be Friday at 5 o'clock Eastern. So we've moved it up to 5 hours. So it's going to, we're not sure how long Doc Bones and Nurse Amy will spend, where they're going to do 1 hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. But
if you can get Doc Bones and Nurse Amy on a good night, they'll go a full 2 hours. Mm-hmm. The first time they were on with me, we went 1 hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah. And there's going to be, so Dave is going to be moderating the comments from the Camp Pat and Family Compound channel. Bruce, Backwoods Law, is going to be moderating this channel.
I got my band hammer right here.
And when we are doing it, the first half of it at least or longer is not going to be question and answer. When it comes question and answer time, then we'll do it. Please don't ask questions during the beginning part because no one's going to remember it. They'll have a presentation to do, and that presentation will be gone through, and then we'll do question and answer. So that's what's coming up on this Friday. So, and we're going to see, then Bruce will have his, Backwoods Law will have his thing at 9 o'clock Eastern. And I may be back at my normal time at 10 o'clock Eastern, and we may do some delve into it a little bit more because I'll have I have the new book that Dave's going to show you right now. Mine's over on the side here as well. This thing has a third more information than the previous version, and we got the color versions.
Yeah, I sent one version, the 4th edition black and white, to my pastor. He is forwarding the 3rd edition to the Philippines.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's I was about ready to get in big trouble with my wife. I wanted the color version because it's so what you see is so much better than in black and white. And I was about ready to drop the $71 plus shipping on it when I got an email from Amy saying she was sending me one. So, because like I said, I'm always on my stuff, pumping them out there and showing it because hey, right now I do not know a better website and a YouTube channel for medical stuff than Doc Bones and Nurse Amy. I'm on their blog, their newsletter list. I get the emails from them all the time with all their blogs and everything. It's very informative. Yeah, and there it is. So if you type in Doom and Bloom as one word, doomandbloom.net, it takes you to their website. Oh, and the last time I was on their website, actually, let me look over here and see what I can bring it up over here. Hang on a second, because there were some changes, something special on there. I'm not sure if it's still there. Doom and Bloom dot. Oh, I put a space in there where I shouldn't have.
Nope.
.net store. Boom. Okay, here we go. We're gonna play around together here. So let me bring it up here. Add stream. Okay, so Doom and Bloom store. Okay, that's the black and white version. And let me go back here. Where's the if I can find it here? All right, that's the big combo. All right, this is the color version, but I was looking for the other one.
That's the scratch and dent. That's the scratch and dent. So if you don't mind it not being perfect, then that's the one to get.
Yes. So I mean, in the shipping, the cover could have a scratch in it. Got dropped by the delivery company or whatever. But yeah, so it is. Yeah, scratch and dent. The price went up to almost $80. So
that's the original price. It's always been $80 for the color version.
Yeah, and so it's $66 basically for the scratch and dent version. Shipping is $6.
Now I'm going to recommend this for those who are considering. Anywhere, if whatever you're ordering from them, if you have the option to get the 4 presentations on a USB flash drive, do so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. There is so much stuff. If I hit the lottery, I'm going to buy one of everything they have, and probably 2 or 3 of a couple of the different kits they have. And and then they have a bunch of stuff. Let me go back here to the. Where's the? I'm trying to find it here. That's all the DVDs.
You're not on the store though. You're just on.
Yeah, it says store. It says store up here.
Yeah, that doesn't look like the website I pull up, but.
Okay, let's see. Let me try
Go to their main. See, go to their main page, which is the down, right there.
Yeah, coming
now
this way.
click
This
the
is the main.
store.
Now click
the store here. They've changed it. Yeah, it's laid out differently than since I've been on it.
They changed it. Yeah.
Well, just type in DVD at the top.
Yeah. And see, because they had, they got there we go. So they got the different DVDs and stuff on USB.
Right.
So
that's why I recommended people get the USB drive.
Yeah.
Put it in a Mylar bag wrapped in cloth so the Mylar bag doesn't touch it, and you've got emergency information.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, they got what's weird is on some of the kits, you click on the kit and there's a DVD for the kit. You can't find that DVD anywhere else but with that kit, whether it's the shooter kit or the suture kit. So,
and they go over the proper techniques in a non-austere environment.
Yeah. This is the first aid 4-1, and it has, so you got the survival medicine, guide to survival medicine supplies, wounds and sutures, staples, yes, and pandemic preparedness,
which is the newer one.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's what's happening, and they're going to be going over a lot of this. And I specifically asked them to mention what recorded DVD, UBS, whatever it is they have that that people can get to cover that as well. So that's what's happening on Friday. And then once it's done, and that's at 5:00 Eastern, at the normal time, 10:00, I may be back I may have a presentation. I'll see what people want to do, whether they want me to go on with a different presentation or they want me to pull the book out. Dave and I pull the book out. We can start answering questions straight out of the book to give you an idea of what's in the book.
Right at us. That will be 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
Or 1700.
Yeah. All righty, folks. We're going to wrap this up here now. We're 15 minutes over. Thank you all for coming in here. Any questions and stuff, you can email me. My email's down in the description down below. Of course, now when you click on, I've noticed when you click on it now for the description, I'm going to see if it does it on the other one here too. Yeah, it opens on the side now instead of down below. So
mine's opening down below. It depends on your browser.
Yeah. So on Firefox, it opens on the side, and on Microsoft Edge, it opens on the side.
Yeah, that's a browser thing.
Yeah. All right. So everyone,
see you, Yossi.
Thank you all for coming in. And remember, stay happy no matter what life throws at you. Stay safe. Don't do anything foolish. And we'll see you in the next video. And take care.